peaceful people struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we.
Oh yes, a lot of you gon' vex, but I tell you, sometimes you just got to listen. There's a child in every home and every community. They will grow up to be symbols of unity. They'll be colorblind to race and ethnicity. That's the vision of a leader like President Irfan Ali. I'm talking about the one Guyana where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana to grow up in a land united and free with equality and blessed with prosperity. For too long we've been fighting one another. It's race against race, but in the end the country suffer. Oh, we were born here, not in India nor Africa. But if we can't get along, the foreigners gon' eat we suffer. We must put an end to racism. Let it end now with this generation. Together we'll develop this nation. Make Guyana the gem of the Caribbean. Don't listen to them wicked politicians who will divide us to win an election. Believe it or not, Guyanese no smarter than that. Yeah, I told you, it's your boy Padmore. Unity is the key. We are all one, and we should be treated as one. Our ancestors were slaves and laborers, but the life they endured made it better for us. We honor their sacrifice and the freedom they bought for we. But some descendants of slaves use that to fuel the rich. It doesn't matter what's your skin color, when we bleed blood it's red the same. Let's respect and love one another. When a brother cry we must feel the pain. We're Portuguese, African and Indian. We're Chinese mixed up, we're Amerindians. We're all Guyanese. Let's end this segregation. I'm appealing to Guyanese in the diaspora. We welcome you home. We've got a lot to offer. It's not the same place that you run away from. Come see the paradise Guyana has now become. I'm talking about the one Guyana, where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana, to grow up in a land united and free, with equality and blessed with prosperity. It's a message. I just want you to understand. Stop and think for a minute. Really think for a minute. If we can't fix the present, then we should work on the future.
Morning, everyone, and welcome down to Livewire. And it's the 5th of September, 2024. Welcome down to another episode. Morning to all the persons joining us across the diaspora. Morning to all the people joining us across the 10 administrative regions. And a special good morning to all the persons who are here in the chat already, joining us from all across the world. Welcome to another episode of Livewire. Good morning to Narain Singh, Ganesh Bharat, Rajendra Singh, Balwan Danraj, morning to you. Faisal Ghani, Padma Balwan, morning to you. Gomiti Singh, Eunice, morning to you. And Rita, Omar Sharif, morning to you. Mohammed Isaf, Neil Ramlokan, Pam, morning to you. And Trevor, Philip Gonraj, Alan Khan, Joseph Satar, Mazo Inshan, Deshaun Abrams, morning to you. Wazim Nabi, Jamila Kayum, Derek Drew Paul, morning to you. Mazo Inshan, morning to you. Ormela Gosai, Neil Ramlukan, morning to you. Jonah Bijan, Chris Diodat, Ricky Knott, Hayat Khan, Bibi Kali Chiran, Ian Bipat joining us from Barbados. Good morning to you. Rajendra Mahes, Sherwin Siram, morning to you. Christopher Prasad, Lance Henry, Ronald Martindale, good morning. Sarah Mosley, Farina Wong, Rahim Amarali, Rihanna Jumont, morning to you. Mukesh Vishnudat, welcome back, brother. Deoraj Nath, morning to you. Paula Spencer joining us from Linden. Jack Narain Edwards, morning. Nirmala Allen joining us from Barbados. Morning, 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 everybody. Morning, morning, morning. Tulsi Ramchedi, Richard Stanislas, Asif Ahmad, Desiree Biong. Look, people, I a little vexed this morning. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm plenty vexed. So I know y'all see what being on my screen earlier. See, I have a clear idea of where this morning is going, the direction we're going in. Right? And I mean, it still shocks me how people like Rickford Bort could sit and lie with us. Well, often not a straight face. A lot of the times for me, you see when he's making up this story, because he blinks like he hearing good, he looking up in the ear, trying to bring the story together to make sense. Right? So last night I received a link for a show called Ride Along. I've never seen the show before, didn't know it existed before last night. And congratulations to the Amazon Warrior. Congratulations to the Amazon Warriors on that big win last night too. So they sent me the show and I was listening to Rickford Bork and Paul Slow. I must give credit to the host. He did ask some questions that I felt needed to be asked to get to the crux of the matter, but he didn't really follow up after he asked those questions. But Rickford Bork, Paul Slow, look, trouble. So this morning I wanted to go through some of that video and just show you how dishonest Rickford Bork is. And that guy, I heard Rickford calling him Junior. Junior, you shouldn't invite Rickford again, right? As a matter of fact, invite him again, but you should have some kind of representation from the government side. So you have Paul Slow, who's a opposition sympathizer. You have Rickford Bork, who's a pathological liar. And then there's no balance to the coin. So all of them, both of them there, well, Nima joined in later on with her nonsense. I don't know how many of you made it to the point of the show where the guy asks Nima a question and she's like, the word in the street is, and the man's like, no, I don't want to hear the word in the street, I want to hear facts. To it. To you, Philip, morning to you. Henry, morning to you. I ain't think I missed no. Miss Bob, morning to you. Oh, I was at the meeting in Mocha as well yesterday, where again, and that's the thing that has freaked me out. So Nima Flubes' contention is that the government that is elected to run the country need to seek permission from the NDC to visit Mocha. I don't believe that is so. Whilst those residents voted for PNC representation at the NDC, the country voted for PVP representation nationally. So even if you come to the government community meeting and raise concerns as an elected NDC official, how are you dictating how the government move in the country that they elected to govern? I don't understand it. What permission does the elected government need from Nima Flubes or the NDC in Mocha to visit Mocha? Let us say the government didn't make those interventions in Mocha. Roads, drainage, assistance to farmers, whatever else that they did. Was the NDC able to handle those responsibilities? Were they doing it in the past? When last the Mocha NDC do a road? But I'm getting off topic. Anyway, let me go over to this thing here. Right? So this is the beginning of the program. And just let's take a listen to my God, look, trouble. Listen, y'all listen.
Of the Caribbean presence here in the diaspora, and we were pretty good at it. We had a lot of viewers. You were the host, I was the producer, I was behind the scenes, and we worked really hard in producing that. So you know, it was. I just had to tell them the history. You know what I mean? Where it all started.
Yes, you're a big one now. You're a big shot now.
I don't know about that.
And I'm still a humble poor guy.
I see you. I see.
The banger Mary and this guy that's just come out even without he trying. You hear me? The banger Mary and Rickford Burke does come out without him even trying. He's just go in to fish mode. he just start wiggling.
You chilling with Hakeem Jeffrey and all these guys. I remember you brought Hakeem to my basement.
Yes.
This
I remember.
look, this at that point there, I wanted to know what the hell is going on this show. Is this a show for regular people or what going on? Hakeem Jeffries in people's basement. Man, look. Y'all do whatever y'all doing, but certain things y'all should discuss pre-show. Pre-show, he bring Hakeem Jeffries to his basement. Okay, anyway.
That's like 20 years ago.
A long time.
Rickford remembering the excitement of the basement in Compton, right?
Let me tell you guys this. Let me tell you guys this.
And I ain't able with all of this. Let me get to the point.
Because of Rickford, because he helped me out and he kind of put me in a special place. So I was there by myself.
Oh,
So
God.
protest in front of ahead of Labor Day. What is really happening, Rickford?
So here is where we begin, people. Right? So I want y'all to listen carefully to Rickford Burke. Listen, Rickford.
Well, we had the protest to bring attention, create further awareness as to what is happening in Guyana. We have a racist government in Guyana, the People's Progressive Party government. That party has a history of anti-Black racism. Going back to the 60s, in 1960, when the party lost power from 1960 to 1964, they
Hold on a second. Anyway,
basically burned the country, went into Afro-Guyanese communities, killed them, burned their homes, burned their villages.
You hear Rickford Burke? And you know something? Again, I've said this on the show already. They got stupid people on both sides. But when you're talking about these things, you need to cover both sides. So Rickford Burke, I did hear about an incident in Linden. I don't have all the facts about it on who did what and whatnot. But I heard about an incident in Linden many years ago. Right? Rickford Burke, go tell to that. Left out Monripo, left out Luziknan, left out Bartico. Right? Left out Bartico. So, again, stupid people on both sides. On both sides. You understand? But goes back to an event that happened in the 1960s and does not bring up events that took place in recent times. Monripo, where Indians were robbed and beaten, and the opposition come out in defense of them. When they had the people in Boxon where the opposition was meeting with them, calling them freedom fighters and all kind of thing. But he goes back to 1960, right?
Run them out of certain villages. That's why in Guyana you have Blacks and in East Indians living in separate towns, separate villages. We don't live together. That's what caused it. And then in the the Burnham Falls, multiracial government came to power.
This is the part that had me floored. So Forbes Burnham multiracial government came into power. Does he mean multiracial because Afro-Guyanese and Indo-Guyanese had to flee Guyana during that time? Does he mean multiracial because the majority of races had to run out of Guyana?
From 1964 straight to 2002, we had peace and tranquility in the
1964, I guess he mean 1992. We ain't gonna nitpick. 19, what's the numbers he called it again? What madness?
country. Multiracial government came to power from 1964 straight to 2002.
1964, and I'm thinking he means 1992. There was peace. So all of them election rigging that took place, them protests that happened in the street, I can't remember the year or the end, more martyrs or whatever happened there. You understand? So all of that period was peaceful period, Rickford Park. All of that period was peaceful period. You understand? Oh my God, these men.
We had peace and tranquility in the country.
Imagine that. Peace and tranquility. When people telling you GDF used to come and collect the ballot box, them banning food. The how to put it? The persons close to the presidency importing all the things that they ban, and Guyanese lining up for food items. That is what he's talking about. Peace and tranquility on the Burnham.
They gained power again in 1992, and from 1992 straight through to 2010, 2015, when they lost power, they had a racist government again. They slaughtered over 1,400 young black men.
How many 1,400 black people getting killed again? Reminding y'all watching this program that Stabrook News, a newspaper who is viewed as independent and not for government or for opposition, debunked that claim of these 50. Well, first was 14, then it was 15, now it's 15. The other day was 2,000. I don't know the number that they're using right now. But this issue, let me see if I could Google it. Let me Google it and put it on the screen for you. Let me Google it and put it on the screen for you. Stabrook News dealt with this. That somebody send me the name of the article in the Stabrook News so I could post it, please. If y'all have it there. I don't remember the name and I'm not finding it. Send me the name of the article. But Stabrook News dealt with it. Oh shucks, now I got 14,000. That's why it probably ain't showing up. Oh, yeah, 2019. No, this is somebody writing about the article. Let me see. Yeah, they started off with 400, then it go to 1,400. Anyway, I'll get an article and show it to y'all. But Stabrook News dealt with this in detail. And through the Stabrook News article, we found out that they had policemen that were killed in that time, that people who died in natural causes. They had East Indian persons on the list as well. This list of persons allegedly killed by the government or some nonsense like that they were putting out. Right? So that was dealt with Stabrook News. But people like Rickford Bork keeps peddling this in the diaspora because everybody got access to these papers to get the information.
and they formed their squads that killed black people. They have now been thrusted into office where we have oil resources. They're using all of the oil money to enrich themselves and their friends and their family. Black people are suffering in Guyana. It's an ethnocracy. They have black people under subjugation.
And my thing is, again, no evidence is presented to back up Rickford Burke's case. This is just how Rickford Burke feels about Guyana. He has said on this program more than once that he ain't been into Guyana in 25 years. In 25 years.
Afro-Guyanese, as we say in Guyana, can't speak out against this government. If you do, you get arrested. If you protest, you get arrested. Every talk show host, such as yourself, Junior, has been...
No, y'all know this is not true. They had several protests outside the State House recently during this year. Who was arrested? Who was arrested? They got about 6 people that protesting outside the GCOM. I don't know if it's every day or once a week or when they just do it, but let's be out there. Who was arrested? Who was arrested? Right? I think he's about to talk about Mark Benchcop too. But I'll give you the difference between Mark Benchcop and the rest.
Arrested. If you're not arrested, they target you. So they've intimidated people at home, in the homeland. And because of that, you have a lot of talk shows that have popped up in the diaspora, including myself, Mark Benchcop, who did jail for 5 years without committing any crime.
Now, could you imagine here, Rickford Burke, and that's how misleading it is. Mark Benchcop joined a protest which he was not a part of, outside of Office of the President. Mark Benchcop, along with some protesters, stormed the gate of Office of the President, Shivnarain Chandrapal Drive, broke into the place, push open the gate and go inside. And Rickford Burke is sitting here and saying Mark Benchcop was arrested for doing nothing. I am asking Rickford Burke to get Mark Benchcop, and y'all go and push open the gate at Pennsylvania Avenue. Can't remember the address. Pennsylvania Avenue. Go to the White House, you and Mark Benchcop, and y'all try to push open the gate there and see what happens to you. If you're arrested, if you're shot, what would it do to you? You understand? So if you're not Guyanese who probably was here during that period, because I was in school during that time, I remember looking at that on TV. Mark Benchcop, I think it was a gray suit and a big bullhorn outside the president making himself a comic. You understand me? And then they rushed the gate at State House. I think Sally Jones find this thing for me. Sally does back me up cruel as I can't underscore how resourceful she is. I might go hire her to be a producer of this show. Because Sally Jones always on point. Let me go and see what she tag me in there. I think it might be the right thing. Hold on a second, people. Right? Let's continue.
And now they've been targeting us. I'm the chief person that they're targeting because of my influence here in the United States. So I know
you're very influential in them basements. I don't know,
like the Vice President, the Attorney General, members of Congress, several members of Congress, local elected officials. And I've been talking to these people, and some of them have been speaking out, including the Attorney General and members of Congress. And we had a conference on Washington.
No, y'all remember the conference on Washington, right? Y'all remember the conference? Did any official from the Black Caucus congressman, vice president, attorney general, any of the people that he mentioned, did any of them attend this activity? Were any of them there? Did any of them listen to the resolutions or whatever they passed at this that they had in Washington? What we do remember is opposition personnel meeting with the Black Caucus and them asking for evidence of the claims that they were making. That I do remember that. I do remember that. But as it relates to the vice president, attorney general, members of Congress, no, none of them went to this activity Rickford Burke is talking about. None of them went to this activity. Right? So I can't believe that he actually mentioning these two things. And again, I say he gets away with this because one, the host, I want to see a Rickford Burke sympathizer, but the host doesn't have access to all the information. He has to go based on what Rickford Burke is saying to him. You understand?
Alright, look at this. I was definitely back there, we back in the PSC. All that I know, all you said that I do what I do. If they're talking these things, they're talking to kill people.
You understand? Oh Lord.
Last year, where we wanted to bring attention, just like we did on Labor Day, to the atrocities committed by the government. This government spent $61 million attacking me.
And me by this call exact figures where he get his information from.
In Washington. And then they sent up a team, including the president, to come to pre-book the conference. Barjagde, the vice president, even threatened members of Congress.
So, the Guyana vice president, right? The Guyana vice president threatening members of Congress in America.
That if they go to the conference, he's going to join with the Republicans and bring them down.
So I guess this is the reason why nobody attended. So the vice president got real power. The vice president got real power. You understand me? You're right. You are right, Pam, saying this is stand-up comedy. So that is why none of the congressmen, none of the members of the Black Caucus, Henry Jeffrey, who was in the basement with these two men 20 years ago, according to them, I mean, I don't know, they had a fun time because Rickford face light up when he remember. But you understand what I'm trying to show you? Y'all understand what I'm trying to show you? Something wrong with Burke mentally, you know.
So they have oil money now, and that's what they're using the oil money for, to attack and declare war on the black population.
Actually, no, Rickford Burke, they're building roads in black communities. They're building hospitals around the country, right? They're building highways to ease the commute time of Guyanese citizens, right? They brought back the Because We Care grant. That is where the oil money is going. They're building schools in the hinterland and on the coastland. They're upgrading schools. Nobody had, the government don't have time to spend oil money behind you. To do what? Rickford, you are a known liar. You literally sit down here lying. Literally sit down here lying on yourself. Lying on the government. Without remorse.
You have the Attorney General who thinks that he's a power unto himself. He's been attacking myself, Paul Snow, and other members of the Guyanese community here in New York. But in particular, these people have a history of killing out black people. The Attorney General was investigating.
Hear this, man.
In writing, I received that investigated by the Guyana Police Force, then Guyana Police Force under the Granger administration, allegedly for the death of Courtney Camuing, who was an activist.
So you know what I realized? The police force only good once it under the PNC administration. Any investigation the police force do outside of the PNC administration is tainted and bad. That is, and that's why I can't understand. It's like the logic. How is it that the police force only functions in a credible manner when the PNC is in government, but anything else, corruption, corruption, corruption?
Who was protesting against him and then was shot dead. He has said he had nothing to do with it, but we don't know what the investigation found. There's no transparency.
Now, again, here's what I want to ask people. If the Americans investigate a murder, they don't find the murderer, do they release that file, the file, well, the information, all the information that the police have, do they release that to the public? Is that what Rickford Burke is expecting the police to do? Courtney Camuing was murdered. He is alleging that the Attorney General had something to do with it. The police investigate. The murderer was not found. So he's what? Expecting the police to do what? Send him a copy of the investigating file? Or I'm trying to understand what Rickford Burke trying to tell people here.
Also, he attacked me, went live on TV, called me all sorts of names, made all.
Rickford Burke. Out to anybody, might more gather with me calling your name, but the Attorney General doesn't use language, at least since I've heard him speak. The man don't use libelous language. Even if he's making an accusation against somebody, he does it in a way that it doesn't cause libel on himself. I'm just listening to him speak. So with Rickford Burke, your whole slave, your slave capture, you say that. I've never heard the Attorney General use any term similar, even in full vexation. So you remember, and that's the thing, the Attorney General just flap you up in a sophisticated manner. So y'all remember the time at the when was the elections rigging time for the PNC? And they was doing the recount. At Arthur John Conference Center. And a reporter jump up and holler, Mr. Nandalal, your outbursts, something. And the age, he said, there's nothing like outbursts. Outbursts and correct key. Simple like that, and ended that guy's career. I've never seen that guy at another press conference. Look, I've never seen that guy at another press conference. I think that was the end of he. You understand? The attorney fixes business in a very proper and professional manner. So when Rickford Burke sit here to say the Attorney General called he all kind of names, probably fraud stuff, because you're in court over fraud, so it's not a, and like I said, I've never heard the Attorney General say that, but probably fraudster or criminal. But to say Rickford is a house slave or Rickford is and then I heard somebody said something about Black Dog on the program, and Rickford Burke said that is what the PPP call black people in Guyana. I wish that the party would just come together and sue for that. Like you're saying that we call people black, the PPP call people black dogs in Guyana. Show us. Right? There's another part of this thing where somebody called in and spoke about Rickford Burke encouraging people to burn down Regent Street. I remember posting that video. It was a video. It was a combination of him and David Hines. When David Hines was screaming to people to undermine the government, Rickford Vork was a part of that video as well. I'm gonna try and look for it in between here. I'm gonna try and look for it in between the whilst we having this conversation, right? I said, but look at this man, the barefacedness.
Sorts of false allegations against me, committed a host of cybercrimes based on their own definition of what cybercrime is.
Oh God. Livewire people who conceptualize the Cybercrime Act, who vote the Cybercrime Act into law. We mean their definition. Kadaki was charged on the definition that was given by the people in the AP and UFC when they put together the Cybercrime Act and passed it through Parliament. Could you imagine? Now, remember, the host is not going to know which party conceptualized this thing. So Rickford Vork go and sit down here and make it seem like the PPP came up with a Cybercrime Act. Thanks, Brent Mentor. Thank you. And listen, Brent, me and Alfred, your body Alfred, right? Both of you. So could you imagine that this banner actually making it seem like the PPP came up with a Cybercrime Act? Like if the PPP came up with a Cybercrime Act. Okay, thank you. Look, let me play it for you here. Let me play it for you here. He claimed he never talk about burning down and all kind of thing. Hey, you make a joke with Livewire people? We don't make joke. Y'all watch this here. Listen to this.
For the call on the people of Georgetown to let loose the dogs of war against the PPP.
Georgetown, the banner! If the PPP don't go, Georgetown and burn
In whatever way.
You understand? These are activities organized by Rickford Vork. Organized, thank you, Sally Jones. Organized by Rickford Vork.
You can't undermine this government. Undermine this government.
If they don't speak to us in our language, then we're going to make this country ungovernable.
We're going to target businesses. We're going to disrupt their business.
Until somebody get run off the road, the same way we tore this country up a couple of months back, it's the same way Guyana needs to be torn up.
We're going to close down the businesses. We already have a list of some of them.
Barby's Bridge. Nobody ain't blocked that bridge yet.
You understand?
The Nines call on Guyanese people to undermine this government.
Shut the place down, whether they like it or not.
Bring everything to a halt. Bring government to a halt.
I stand by it. I said it yesterday. I'm saying it today. And I'm going to say it tomorrow once it's necessary.
You understand what I'm trying to show you? Now Rickford Vork sat on this program and pretended like he didn't know that he was in those videos, that he didn't make those statements. Well, all weren't his. Some were made at activities that he organized in the diaspora. And let me make sure, let me send this video to Mr. Ride Along right now. Let me send this video to Mr. Ride Along right now. Yeah, I just sent the video to the ride along guy. I just sent it to him because I don't know if the other guy would have sent it who called into the program, right? But that is the kind of misleading stuff they go on with. Okay, hold on. I got another one here for you. Let me show you. Rickford claiming he never talk about disrupting and causing problems in this country. Listen to Rickford.
I'm going to say stretch the police resources thin. Let them call out the army. I am not apologizing for anything. I don't care what happened in Monrepo, and I don't care what happened. I'm going to say stretch the police resources thin. Let them call out the army. Protesting Barbies, protesting Essequibo, East Coast, West Bank, Georgetown, everywhere. I am not apologizing for anything. I don't care what happened in Monrepo.
So you see his mentality. The Monrepo people didn't do anything to anybody. They were at the market. They were at their market shopping. Selling, doing the little business. Persons vexed with another issue. Leave their community, come to Monrepo, broke up the thing, and go away. And that is the response of Rickford Board. You understand? That is the response of Rickford Board. And then he goes on this gentleman's program and pretends like he has never said anything in relation to disrupting the peace and harmony in this country, pitting Afro-Guyanese against Indo-Guyanese. Despicable manner. Despicable manner. Try this is what I'm telling you. Despicable.
He came up here and we protested against him, and the next day he called a meeting and allegedly advocated for me to be killed.
He talking about the AG. Man, look. This gentleman is delusional, and I think somebody really needs to host an intervention on his behalf. Really and truly.
That matter was reported to the NYPD. They launched an investigation. He was declared wanted at one point in time. He got the police.
So the NYPD declared the Attorney General wanted. They have put out a press statement. We see no wanted bulletin. Nothing. Nothing of the sort. They just told Rickford Burke he's wanted.
Forced to call the NYPD and try to make all sorts of false allegations. Then they issued a false statement on behalf of the NYPD.
So the Guyana Police Force issued a false statement on behalf of the NYPD, and the NYPD didn't issue no statement refuting it. Eric Ford, this is the piece coming up here I really wanted y'all to hear. Listen to this.
All sort of confusion. But the fact of the matter is that the Attorney General of Guyana, who has a history of criminality, came up here and tried to arrange for me to be killed. And now secondly, we had an informant informing me sometime this year, me and law enforcement, that a senior Guyana police officer with very strong and close ties to the PPP, People's Progressive Party, which is the ruling party in government, came up here and attempted to hire a hitman to kill me.
Right. So okay. They had this information. Why didn't they lock up the policeman there and then in America? Since the person who the policeman went to hire to kill you informed you and the police of this plot. Right? Informed you of this plot. Why the police didn't take action and lock up? He was in their jurisdiction. You like talk about jurisdiction. He been in the I guess the NYPD jurisdiction. Why didn't lock you up?
FBI has launched an investigation into that matter.
Let's take a pin right there. Let's take a pin there, Rickford, because the government have a pushback on those statements, and especially dealing with the allegations of having someone sent up from Guyana to have you killed. In a press release, the government
listen to the press release. Listen to what Rickford Bork say after. Listen.
Said that in relation to the allegation, they said as a result of the investigation through members of the Ghanaian police force, based upon legal advice and received by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution and independent constitutional office, Burke and other persons were charged with 2 counts of the following extortion offenses: conspiracy to commit felony contrary to Section 333 of the criminal law. They went on to say that these charges, the government of Guyana noted, are pending before magistrate in the district. The offense was allegedly committed. The magistrate, upon examination of the charges, issued a summons to be served upon you, Mr. Rickford Burke, by the Guyana Police Force, authorized by the relevant criminal statute to do so. So they went on to say that you were notified, and the person in question that was sent from Guyana was a police officer to work along with a licensed process server here in New York to issue those charges against you.
That is what happened. That statement with the host just read, that is what happened. That is exactly what happened. Listen to Rickford Bork now.
This is what the government is saying.
Junior, all of that is absolute nonsense. First of all, a Guyana police force officer has no jurisdiction in the United States.
Hence him using a process server that has jurisdiction in the United States.
That's the first thing. But there are 2 unrelated matters. The person that came up here allegedly to investigate me was sent by the government to survey my home. They were committed espionage.
You notice Rickford Burke in calling nobody name. On this very program, Rickford Burke sat last night, and as callers called in and called Rickford and Mark Slow out for their lies and misinformation, they demanded to know who. Let them identify themselves. Let them identify themselves. I want to see them. I want to know his name. But Rickford ain't calling nobody name. It's always an informant. My source said to me, intelligence. Well, you know what the kind of intelligence is.
That person attempted to hire a hitman, a person who he thought would take money to kill me. They're 2 separate things. But so let me make that very clear. And that person, again, reported the matter to law enforcement.
So that is why I'm saying, you're right. So it's not a case where the hitman tell a friend and the friend go and tell the police. The NYPD, the alleged Guyanese officer, came to the United States, engaged a hitman. The hitman now went and tell the police. So I am saying, why didn't the police, the NYPD, with the information that the hitman brought, he's a witness, the man come to me and asked me to commit a crime, why didn't they go now and arrest the police that was in the United States at the time? You get where I'm coming from? The hitman get cold feet. He decided to let Rickford Burke know, to let the police know that this police officer from Guyana come to hire me to kill Rickford Burke. This is automatically a criminal offense. Automatically. The police have a witness who is the alleged hitman who was supposed to commit the crime. He bring the information to the police. So the hitman know, most likely, well, the police could give a wrong name. Right? But he could at least say, well, all right, we're going to set up a sting. I'm going to meet back up with this man. I'm going to tell you I'm going to assassinate Rickford. He can bring the money and we're going to arrest him. We can catch him. So we could put it up big. Guyanese police force officer arrested for hiring assassin. We got the money, we got the man, we got the hitman, we got Rickford, we got everybody. But no, the NYPD decided to take that information, keep it to themselves. That they have a witness or so an informant that said Guyana police force send somebody to hire a hitman. Yeah, you see what I'm trying to show you? You see what I'm trying to show you? This is the most amount of red flags I ever see in my life.
And the FBI got involved. Now, let me talk
the
about
FBI involved too, you know. Not just the NYPD, the FBI involved. See, the NYPD didn't do nothing for Rickford Bar. The FBI involves upon the police officer from Guyana for Rickford Bar.
the issue where the government is talking about I was charged. First of all, the laws of Guyana only permit Guyanese police officers to operate within the jurisdiction of Guyana, which means the geographical bounds of Guyana. That's number one. Number two,
they're saying
even the host realize you're talking bare S, because the police from Guyana who came to serve you with your charges follow the procedure, go to the person who could give you this document officially on American side.
That
I understand what you're saying.
A process server here in the United States.
But a process server in the United States doesn't have the authority to serve someone with a criminal matter with a criminal summons. A process server
doesn't have the authority to serve somebody in a criminal matter. Okay.
In the United States is not a law enforcement officer. A process servicer in the United States is a person who works with a lawyer who takes civil writs to people and serve it. So like if you want to sue me for libel, a process services license to come to me and nail it on my door or whatever it is. Second, the government has been using criminal charges to try to silence us in the diaspora and to commit transnational repression crimes. They're trying to intimidate us. I live in the United States. I have not been to Guyana in 25 years.
You hear he? So he has no real-time first-hand understanding of what is happening in Guyana since 25 years. Let me see. So the Irfanali, Granger, Ramutar, Jagdio. Since Jagdio was president, since Bar Jagdio was president, since wrong them time, this champ in being back in this country. You understand? See, he didn't know the struggles people been experiencing under the APNU. He didn't know the plight of people under the APNU, how they were suffering. He didn't care. You understand? So, more so, he doesn't know how people are benefiting now. So all the information he gets is based on what people telling him. And how credible are those persons that you're talking to, Rickford Bar? Okay, remember it's Congress place, most of your information coming from you. And their maths is wrong, the information is wrong. So they could be feeding you information to have you looking like an idiot on social media.
How can I commit a crime in Guyana? Let me tell you what the government is calling a crime. The government has the owners of a car dealership.
Now, mind you, the government was not involved in this. These people had their own thing going on. It caused a problem and the police get engaged. You understand? The government didn't ask nobody to investigate, no fuel, nothing in the side. They had their own thing going on. And Rickford Bar is involved. What? Inside the lip looks off. Jesus.
That finances their operations, their political operations. It's called BM SOT.
BM SOT should sue you again. What evidence do you have that BM SOT financing government operation?
It's scamming.
Allegedly, because...
Allegedly.
You understand? Even the host had to come out. Because this is not factual anywhere. This is not proven in a court of law. This is Rickford Burke's account of situations that he is involved in. So obviously, which criminal does incriminate himself? So he got all the excuses, all the reasoning. Oh, this body do it because of that, and that body do it because of that. It is never because of Rickford Burke's incompetence and wrongdoings.
Well, yeah, so it's allegedly scamming.
It's been alleged.
Right. I'm alleging that, and thousands of Guyanese are alleging.
Wait there. Are they behind you in this banner, Mr. Rickford Burke? Are the 1,000 Guyanese behind you in this banner here? Where are they? Where are they? The more support y'all get is on these lives. You understand? The more support Rickford Burke, Sherrod Duncan. Sherrod Duncan couldn't even translate his live views into AFC votes. That's how bad it's bad. Y'all need to realize that persons come to social media. You understand me? Come to social media sometimes for fun. So just listen to y'all for kicks. Just listen to y'all for kicks.
The BMSO scams their customers, particularly poor black people.
Oh my God.
And this is what they do. They sell you a car, and then allegedly after you sign the contract of sale.
Mind you, they ain't had a soul raise this concern but BMSO thing, Guyana. You understand? Nobody, there are a couple people that problem with BMSO, but nothing of the nature that Rickford Burke is talking about. So I am saying, if all this happening to all these black people in Guyana with BM suits, why the hell they still going and shop at BM suits? Why are they still shopping at BM suits? If this is happening to them over and over again, according to Rickford Burke, why are they going to shop this still? And secondly, why nobody in move to the local courts in relation to BM suits? You understand? Why is nobody not moving to the courts to take BM to court for selling them a bad car, collecting back, wherever it is that Rickford Burke saying here? They're not doing it. I'm running out of time and I didn't want to jump to Nemo.
They add conditions to it. They staple other things onto it. That's number one. Number two, if you take a guarantor for this car, it's for the purchase of the car.
I didn't want to be
the FBI is now investigating whether or not the Attorney General deliberately attempted to mislead the U.S. government. And let me tell you what they did.
So, after this, I jump into Nemo. So, the FBI is investigating whether the Attorney General deliberately misled the U.S. government. I am asking why the FBI is sharing this with, why would they share this with Rickford Burke? Who is Rickford Burke? Rickford Burke is not a member of Congress. He is part of the Black Caucus. He's not a congressman. Nothing. He no security committee, nothing. Right? So the FBI, a federal agency, is investigating a country, a government, the government of a country. And they are briefing Rickford Burke about their investigation. Right? Think about it. They are briefing Rickford Burke about their investigation. That makes sense? Oh my God. I wanted to get to the piece we talk about getting served.
They lied to the magistrate that I came to Guyana, committed a crime, and left. If you look at the summons, it says I committed the crime in Guyana.
The crime was committed in Guyana, but you use a computer to do it. The crime was committed in Guyana. It happened. The texting and the thing is happening, and if you're living in Guyana, that's what it means. And there's the kind of Nigel Hughes technicalities that is want to use to get out of things. Right? The fact that he's been to Guyana in 25 years. You are engaging persons who live and run businesses in Guyana. You are engaging reporters who work in Guyana to write stories about the businessman. Where the stories published, not here in Guyana, this is where the crime commit. What stupidness you talking?
And that I live in Guyana. That's the only way they could have got the magistrate to sign a summons. right? And then they issue a statement saying the magistrate give them permission to send a summons abroad. Magistrate doesn't have jurisdiction in the United States. If you want to charge someone with a crime in the United States, you have to go to the court in Guyana, try to get the person extradited, send that to the United States government, and then the United States government will have the person go to a judge, present the evidence, and then they'll be extradited or not. What they have done is assume they have world power, right? Charge me with a crime in Guyana, even though I haven't been to Guyana in 25 years, and then say to the United States government, oh, send Rickford Burke to Guyana because you've charged him with crime.
Y'all understand? Y'all understand what Rickford Burke telling you? The cake shop operation is not how this administration is working. And you know, anyway,
the United States government informed them that they're violating my constitutional rights by doing that. They didn't stop there. They continue and they continue until they send. We don't know who the people they send. No one identified themselves to me. I was going to church one day and two men with guns rolled up on my home. No one identified themselves. I walked past them, left them in my yard, and left.
Right. So this is what I was coming to. This is what I was coming to. So you hear Rickford Burke. Two men come up to you with guns. Nobody identified them. He walked past them and left. Right? Watch this. The boyfriend walked past them and leave. You see Rickford Burke looking at the document, reading the document, at least the front, the cover, looking to see what it was and that kind of thing. So this is him walking past the people. This is the bare-facedness of Rickford Burke. Rickford Burke, no the people got video. No the people got video and still would go on that man program, go on Junior program and lie to Junior face. So this is him walking past, you know. Let me send this to Junior as well. Let me send this to Junior. I gotta contact this guy and see if I can get on his program. I just sent the video to Junior too. This is crazy. This, like the British would say, it's brazy. Right? So Rickford Burke allegedly walked past the man with a gun. Right? This from the service agency with a gun. You're hearing the man talking. You're hearing exactly what he's saying, but the man talking to him, explaining to him what's going on, and thing was what.
Consider, sir. And recorded. Good luck to you. Have a nice day.
So the bailiff record, nobody approaches Rickford Burke. Whoever's recording here, sorry, the guy's not a bailiff. Whoever's recording here recorded. The guy who approached Rickford Burke was recording as well. You understand me? So when you listen to Rickford Burke and his account, right? Listen to Ricky.
I was going to church one day and two men with guns rolled up on my home. No one identified themselves. I walked past them, left them in my yard, and left. They left something on my stairs. We circled the block, came back and saw them searching through my mail.
Mind you, Rickford Burke has never produced a video, a photo, a braille photo, something in braille to show that these men being in the mailbox, anyway, close to the mailbox. And matter of fact, if you go back to this video, let me see if you see a mailbox in this video anyway to the front. Anybody see a mailbox? Anyway at the gate there, they got mailbox anyway there? Oh, okay, yeah, I see one. I see one. You understand? Never show us a video or photo of these people in the mailbox. Nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. Something wrong with Rickford Moore. Guys, I out of time. I ain't get to deal with Nima Flu best. But don't forget, today, 2 p.m., the General Secretary for the People's Progressive Party will be having his press conference. And I hope to all God he touch on these things. I hope to all God that he I hope he touch on these things. Because look, these people struggle. These people struggle. Y'all have a good day. Be safe on the roadways there. Special good morning to Miss Marisha Sami. And special good morning to Miss Alicia Alt. Also morning to all the wards there in Bartico and stuff. Y'all have a wonderful day. Oh boy. Let me go message Junior and send you some more videos with Rickford Moore. You understand? Y'all be good. Be good, Guyanese. No, Mike, tomorrow we dealing with Nima. We left with Nima out. I coming back to Nima tomorrow. We ain't got time with me. Who vex lose? If y'all want here, you could go. But I am coming back to Nima tomorrow. Nima is very disingenuous. Anyway, as I usually say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about one Guyana.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no trees.